Hello everyone, today we are going to learn a new Tunisian smock stitch, and for this project I decided to make a mug rug that is very fast to make. You can use them as a gift set if you make like around 6 or 4 of them, and you can use a tassel and a bead to decorate them. It's very easy stitch. I used cotton yarn. You can use any cotton yarn. So for this cotton yarn is recommended 3.5 millimeter hook, and for Tunisian I prefer to use a bigger size hook, so I used 5 millimeters. And you can use normal crochet hook that doesn't have the grip. You don't need Tunisian hook for this project because it's very short. You don't have to, unless you want to have a big project. Then it's better to have Tunisian long hook or with the wire. That's all what we need. You can make any cotton yarn using any cotton yarn, but try to use 2 or 3 sizes bigger hook than it's recommended on your label. So let's get started. So we are going to start with the normal foundation chain as you do in traditional crochet. For that we will start with the slip stitch. So just grab your yarn, wrap around 2 fingers, make an X, grab your hook and grab the second yarn and release. So that's the slip knot. You can make it other ways if you want to. And we start the foundation chain. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think 20 is enough for me. So right now we are going to turn our chain, and you can see here the horizontal lines, the bumps. So we will insert our hook under these bumps. So the very first one we skip and we go to the second one like that and grab, and we have 2 loops. So now we are moving to the third one. So I forgot to say, here is the right chain and we just go to the other side of the chain and we take the bump and we have 3, and then we have 4, and we, like in knitting, we are going to pick up all the loops. So insert, and now at the end of this chain you must have 20 loops. The number that you chained, you must have the same number of loops. So that's what I got. I have 20 loops, and that's our foundation chain. So right now what you have to do is to chain 1. So just yarn over and chain 1, pull through 1 loop on the hook. Now yarn over, and you have the 2 loops like this one. So these are the 2 loops, 1 and 2. Yarn over, and you must pull through 2 of them. Yarn over, pull through 2 these loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, and you get something that looks like that. and continue until the end. You continue to yarn over and pull through 2. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and that was our return pass. That's how it's called in Tunisian crochet. And now we have this thing that you can see the anatomy of the Tunisian stitch. You have the vertical bars now, like this one, you have all the vertical bars that I can call stitches. So what you have to do now is to put your yarn like this, not this way, but the other side, from down to top, let's call it from down to top. And now you have the vertical bar, that's the first one, you don't count it with the first loop on the hook. Now you have the 2 others. So you have the 1 and 2, these 2. You must put your hook like that inside, and now yarn over and pull through 2. So you got sort of upside down V, or yeah, something that looks like this. And now you again take the yarn like this, so yarn over, and you find the next 2 bars, 1 and 2, and insert your hook like that. And now you just yarn over the normal way and pull. So you create another thing that looks like this, and again yarn over, you find another 2, put the yarn on the hook, so you must always keep the yarn here with your finger so it doesn't slide. Then yarn over and pull through 2. So that's how it looks like. I hope you understand and you can see clearly all of my movements, because this one is not so simple stitch. So pull through 2, you continue until the very last. So it looks like that. You go under both. Now I have the 2 last vertical bars, and yarn over, and now I have to yarn over again like that, turn my work, and here you can see the last stitch. So we are not going just under one, not taking just this yarn, we are taking also the other shorter yarn. It's very hard to show on this first row, so you must have the 2 loops on the side and then yarn over. So it looks like that. and it looks like this in front. So I show you on the other side. We are going to get the last stitch that it gets the chain like here, must have the chain. So every time you turn your work, you must grab both. Both, not just one, but two of them when you finish the last stitch. Always two. You must turn your work like that and see that you need to have two when you finish the last stitch. So here I'm going to show you again. So it looks like that. I'm not taking just this yarn, but I'm also taking this one. So I have two loops, and then I do yarn over and pull through two of them. Thus we finish our forward pass. Now we are starting the return pass. So as usual, chain one, and now pull through two loops on your hook. So you have the two ones, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two of them, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, and continue until the end of this row. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, until the very end. So right now your work must look like this. So you create these shapes, and I'm going to start the second row, and because in Tunisian you count like that. This was our first row and now second row. So you count this chain on the side so you see more clear. So we are going to start the second row, and we are going to see like that. So this is our first V, let's call it like that, reversed. And now we insert our hook into the first one, just one, yarn over and pull one loop. So we see that typically it has 1 and 2. So now yarn over the second half of this stitch, we grab this and we grabbed another half of the next one, and we always do like that. So again, yarn over, we take one part of the previous stitch and the one part of the next stitch, and then pull them together. And then again we take the part of the previous stitch and the part of the next stitch, yarn over and pull them. So you always yarn over first, then you take the part of the previous stitch and the next one, and pull together, so it looks like that. So yarn over of the previous stitch and the next one. Sorry, I got something here. So I'm just taking a part of previous and the next one, then yarn over. Again, you must always do like that to see which one exactly you have to take, and you will see easily. Is this one and the next one. Yarn over this one and the next one. So continue. One and the next one. So here we have just one part of the last stitch. Yarn over, and we use just one part. We don't have the part of the next stitch in the second row, and we just finish like that and then turn. That I told you, you can see the 2, 1 and 2. Oh, sorry, my baby is crying. I have to pause the video. So these 2, and you must insert your hook into these 2 and finish the row. So for the return pass, we always do the same thing. Chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, so you will have to pull through 2 until the end of the row. Just pull through 2 and you go on like that until the very last loop on your hook, and then I show you how to start the next row. So we are going to start our third row, and here you can see again you have this looks like V or Y. So you must take just the second one, the second part. So I'm skipping the very first. So yarn over as we usually do it, and then take not the very first, not this, but the second part. Hope you can see, and the second part of the next stitch. So now yarn over and you have yarn over and you find the rest and one half of the next. Yarn over and you continue. So yarn over, you just have to see it better, you must just this one and from the next stitch. So in the second here. Here oh, so sorry, I look wrong. So like that, then technically you just take off the previous stitch and the next stitch, the second half, so one half of each one, and you continue like that. So now I almost arrived to the end, and here at row 3 I will finish with 2. In row 2 I finish with 1, right? So now yarn over, and we are crocheting the last stitch. Now the return pass as usual, chain 1 and then pull through 2 until the end of this row. You can do by yourself. So I have finished this row, and now you can see a little bit the pattern. I have to say that Tunisian smock stitch is alternation of row 2 and row 3. I believe that you already forgot how you started row 2, so I'm going to repeat again. So be attentive, row 2, and then we repeat row 3, and then you will just alternate row 2 and row 3 until you have the desired length. So when you are crocheting row 2, you must always start with the, so you can see this is, you don't pay attention to this one because you already have a loop, and now you must see just the first V or Y, or I don't know how to call this, two vertical bars. So you just see them, and you take just one vertical bar and yarn over and crochet, Tunisian simple stitch. Now yarn over, and you take the other half and the half, another vertical bar from the next stitch. So you have, then yarn over, and you find the leftover, and from the next stitch, and you continue until the end of this row. So that's how you will finish this. Continue. Go on, find the vertical bars. It's very easy when you practice a little bit. Could be a bit confusing at the beginning. So now we have just one bar left here at the end. It's okay. Yarn over and finish with one bar. And now just finish without yarn over the last stitch, because if you can see, it's already complete here. You have one V. And now we will finish with last stitch. So now we are going to do a reverse pass, and you already know how to do that. You can do by yourself. So I finished the return pass, and now I'm going to start row 3. And row 3, in the difference between row 2 and row 3 is that row 2 we used this one, right? And we make Tunisian simple stitch like that. But row 3 we completely ignored this one. We just yarn over and we use the second part and the next stitch, and we continue. So just the beginning and the end, they are a bit different, but all the rest is the same. You just take one part of V and another one from the next V, and you continue like that until the very end. It's very fast when you start to see them very clearly. So here we have both. If in the row 2 you have just one of these legs, here you have two, and it's like that. And now we are going to yarn over and do the last stitch. So that's it. I'm going to continue until I have a square, and then I show you how to bind off and to finish our mug rug. So I have finished the desired length, and I have around, let me measure, like 7.5 centimeters. And now I'm going to show you how to bind off. It's very easy. As you can see, you have this V, two parts of one stitch, or we can call them like V, and you just take one like that and yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook. Then you take another one and you pull through two loops. Then another one, you pull through two loops, and another one. So you go on like that until the end of the row. Is the same like Tunisian simple stitch bind off. So just do that. That's how it looks like. And I'm almost at the end. So it doesn't matter if you finish and bind off at row 2 or 3, I mean the repetition of those rows, or just finish at any row you want. And now our last stitch. That's all. So now we can pull the yarn and cut it. Sorry, that's my son making extra noise. So that's enough for the small mug or cup. If you want, you can make it bigger or even very large size, depends for what purpose you want. And right now I will show you how to make this decoration, and it's very easy. For that you will need just the same yarn you use for crocheting, and just wrap few times around the ruler. You don't have to make a big one because that's a small project. So I think that's enough for me, and I just cut. Then I cut another bit longer yarn. I insert it. So maybe I use the hook to help me. Okay. Now I'm going to make few knots on the top. Tighten it as much as you can. So right now I'm going to cut so I'm going to wrap this one around maybe just 2 times and make knots on the inner side. So just 2 knots, they are enough. Okay, now we are hiding the knots, and I need another string of yarn, bit longer. So we place one end which will be a bit longer, and we are going to make a loop like that. So just a loop. And now with the other longer end, we are going to wrap it just around. The size, of course, you decide, of the tassel you decide by yourself. So I'm just wrapping a few times. I think that's enough. And now I'm inserting the tail into this loop, and I'm going to pull it. To pull stronger, and I'm also pulling the other end, the tail that I left longer. So I'm pulling. And also this one. Right now I can trim all the longer ends. Make it a bit prettier. It's a very fast way of making a tassel. You can use other methods if you prefer. So just like that. I brush this one. You can brush or keep the ends like that, just trim them. So I just trim this one. Can make them really short. And just to keep the tassel like this one. You can use the bead for decoration or use no beads at all. And just insert the hook. It's a bit too tighten. Easier to work with a smaller hook. And just pull the yarn. So pull all the ends. There is this one that longer. So just take the other side. And you can hide this end in between the stitches. Maybe you can even make the knot here. Sorry. Oh, it went on the other side. I'm a bit in a hurry to finish this video before my newborn wake up, so just hide the ends. And the same you can do there, and you can trim if you got some excess. So you can have, let me for now hide the end like this. You can have, or like that. You can also brush if you prefer and add the bead. They are all cute, and you can have a bit of your creativity. So that's all. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.